Hey, what's up, my little Taratels? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if you are Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, one is getting more pathetic and the other one is making some questionable moves. Now, listen, if you guys haven't heard, the deal between Adidas and Kanye West is off. Again, he's going to get his money for those past inventory of Yeezys, but the deal is off. Y'all, I got some information on why the deal fell apart, if these sources can be believed. Now, listen, we all know that Adidas was so happy with what was happening with Kanye West, the sneakers, all that stuff. We all know for a fact that in 2.5 days, they sold almost $500 million, and the other ones are going to go even quicker. We know that it was 85% of their Q2 profits. And then what happened? The head of Adidas came out in a snippy statement talking about no, we're not going to partner. Yes, it's one man. We could sell his designs on our own without his permission, but we're not going to do that. And you know what? Moving forward, we're going to find a way to move our business model away from him. And I remember thinking, what happened? The Adidas team, they were in fact, right? The Adidas team, they were in fact where I think Adidas headquarters are, either Seattle, Washington, all the same, they were all there. They were supposed to come together. The deal was pretty much promised. So what happened? And why did he get such an attitude? Well, you guys, this is part 1 of why Yeezy blew up the deal. There's a part 2 also. Okay. Actually, the part 1 I already made, but the volume was off. So I'm re-recording part 1, but part 2 will be up shortly after this. Okay. But let's get into this. Okay. So when Kanye was down on his luck, and when Adidas had stripped him of that, he took time and they said he really, really contemplated, okay? He contemplated everything. But here's the thing. Adidas was down for it. They only care about money, but they wanted Kanye to do something that he was like, I'm not doing it. And when he wouldn't do that, they said, if you don't do this, right? If you don't do this, then the deal's off. And Kanye, they're saying in that moment, heard it, felt it, and he decided, baby, you already stripped me of everything and I'm still standing. He had Bianca by his side. He's feeling more grounded. They have a vision, and it's a vision that he doesn't want to be controlled. And Kanye looked at them and said, absolutely not. I'll do it on my own. Y'all, listen, was he wrong? Now, here's the thing about why it was the smartest thing. Maybe 2 weeks ago, if he had done this, people would have been like, why? By the way, what they wanted Kanye to do was they wanted him to apologize, and they wanted him to take back the statements. That's on the surface. They also had a whole list of demands about what he'll do, how he'll say, the way he would conduct himself. Yeah, they were giving him more money, but they were taking away even more control of how he can move outside of his life. They were taking away even more control. However, they were offering untold amounts of money. If Kim thought that her little valuation for Skims was $4 billion was something, Yeezy and the profits they got in one day, that valuation is easily between $20 and $25 billion with valuations. I know it's all BS, but just listen to me. Kanye looked at Adidas and he said, wait a second, before, right? All this happened, and I threw my riches to pigs. Before all this happened, you guys had already been screwing me over. You were already selling counterfeit stuff in China. I was already suing you guys for abusing the contract. You guys have already proved yourself to be snakes and not crusted. And now you guys are coming on the high horse saying you'll give me even more money, but I'll have less control. Kanye looked at that and said, no, I will take a chance on myself. And he did. And he did. And you guys, this is going to be one of the biggest experiments that we have seen. What's actually going to happen? Because say what you want, Kanye's influence is undeniable. Kanye's influence is undeniable. For goodness sakes, the Colosseum, Rome thought they were having an earthquake. And all it was the 60,000 people jumping up and down and getting excited. There's geologists that were in Rome that actually reported it wasn't an earthquake. It was the people in the Colosseum jumping up and down because Rome was so excited when Kanye came to the stage when Travis pulled him up. They haven't seen that since the Colosseum times when they were having people fighting lions and Spartacus. So what happened? Kanye said, wait a second, I'm gonna take a chance on myself. I'm finally, because even the apologizing, it wasn't just the apologizing, it's the way they wanted him to do it. They wanted to neuter him. They wanted to control him. They wanted him to even find a way. See, they got smarter too, and they're like, okay, we couldn't control him. Let's get a top spot that will offer him all these riches. But if he goes with his core nature, we'll take it all away. This time we'll make a better project. Make a better prospect. Okay. So what ended up happening? Hold on. So this is what ended up happening. Kanye saw that. He didn't fall for the trap and he said, no, thank you. I do not want to be a part of this. Adidas lost their minds. They were furious. They don't understand how somebody can walk away from that much money. But it's easy to walk away from money. It's easy to walk away from money when they already took it away from you. See, the time to be nice and play this stuff would have been like Kanye was trying to negotiate. Once you stripped him down to nothing, once he lost his family, he lost his sense of self. He was down on his luck. He copped up, got Bianca, slowly started rebuilding, and now he's ready to blow everything off the top. And again, 2 weeks ago, if people had been like, he walked away from all that money, they would have said, you are a GD fool. But Kanye has learned. Remember when he said, I would admit, Sway had the answers. He's now looking at the answers that Sway gave him a decade ago. Why can't I do this myself? Why can't I find a way to mass produce? Why can't I find a way to bring it straight to the public? Maybe we will have to start off small, but baby, it'll grow and grow and grow. Because at the end of the day, like Louis Farrakhan said, if somebody can take away $1 billion from you just like that, was it ever real? Was it ever real? Kanye is now hip to the game. He realizes that $4 billion valuation skim Scott, that's all BS. Because you only made for that year about 200 million, which is a lot, but baby, it's not 4 billion. That $1 billion Adidas promised them is nothing because it's just a shackle. It is a carrot tied to a stick. And lately Adidas has only been wanting to do the stick. They made it be known. So now he's like, even if it's smaller, it'll be real. That's the way I build intergenerational wealth. That's the way I find a way to make a legacy for my kids now, for my kids with Bianca, for our blended family. That's how you get true power. Because at the end of the day, if somebody can take what you want and what you have away so quickly, was it ever real? Adidas tried. Kim tried. And why Kim tried? People are saying that Adidas, when it all first fell apart, people looked to Chris and Kim as Kanye's handlers. Can you get him? Can you control him? What's going on? Kim was fine to do this. But Kim doesn't even have any value in that anymore because Kanye doesn't trust Kim. Kim was laughing at him when he was down on his luck with everything, laughing at him with Diddy, doing little memes, talk about she's rich. Now they in the same boat. Y'all listen, the part 2, and this is what I want to get to, is going to blow your mind. Part 2 is exactly why Kim is losing her mind about the Adidas, because Adidas has lashed back and said that they're going to sue Kanye for misappropriation of $100 million. That's how much money that Kanye was bringing into Adidas when they gave him $100 million just for ads and marketing alone. You know how much money he was bringing in? That $100 million was just to find new ways for him to creatively. And they're now saying that he's mismanaged the money. And guess what? Kim's the one that's going to be deposed about that. I got a little tea about that if you want to believe the streets. Again, this is my opinion. The streets do speculate, but you guys have to admit, that deal was on track. Adidas doesn't walk away from money. And the anger behind the president's voice of being like, we'll never work with Ye, lets us know that, baby, you ain't fire Ye. Baby, he quit. After the effect that he's even had on the pop culture, with Travis Scott. He's taking a bet on himself. He is going to be his own supplier, his own distributor. He is going to own everything he does 100%. He's going to combine it with the music. He's going to launch everything in a fashion show, I think in late September, early October, and there is going to be a cultural shift, baby. This is what he's promising. I will say one thing, for good or bad, every single time Kanye promised something, baby, it comes through. Listen, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.